My nurse sister bullies stupid mothers and brags about giving them a nurse dose, so I told her to find a different career and reported her to the hospital. My sister has worked as an L&D nurse for a few years. She has always wanted to be a nurse and even said it was her calling. Lately, she has been making horrible remarks about the mothers that come to her. Now I understand that every job has problems, and sometimes you need to vent about rude people, management, and pay. However, this was not like that. For example, she talked about one of her patients, called the white whale. My sister said that the white whale went into labor and brought her husband with her. She talked about how hot her husband was, and how she could not understand how a whale was able to pull someone like him. She laughed when recalling the sounds she made when pushing out her child and said that she didn't look like the type of woman to be strong enough to go the natural route. In the past, she has talked about how another mom to be defecated on the table, and she remarked that she wouldn't be surprised if her husband divorced her after seeing something so nasty. Other stories included a teenage patient who just couldn't keep her legs closed. My sister claims she gave her some sound advice. I'm honestly scared to know what she said to this young girl. With this girl, my sister laughed about how she gave her a nurse dose of pain meds to get her to shut up and refused to give her a blanket since, if she wants to act like an adult, then she deserves to be treated like one. The fight between her and I happened a few days ago due to her talking about a mother who delivered a premature baby. She admitted that she told this mother that she should have done a better job if she didn't want to have a baby born at 29 weeks. I blew up at my sister and asked her how she could be so heartless. My sister told me that she should have the right to vent about stupid mothers who don't know how to do the thing their body is designed for. She also said that I don't work in healthcare, so I have no right to remark on how she handles stress at work. I told her that if her way of handling stress is to be a misogynist, then she needs to find a different career. I left afterward. I feel bad for some of the things I said, and I know that she needs to let off steam, but saying horrible things about women in their most vulnerable times isn't cutting it for me. In addition, my family does not know this yet, but I'm pregnant, and hearing about how my sister, a nurse, is treating pregnant women just makes me scared for labor and delivery. My husband and I called the hospital where my sister works and explained what my sister said about her patients to me. I went into detail about what I could remember and just reported it. They thanked me for letting them know, but I don't know what further action they would take. Update. This afternoon, the hospital that I called yesterday called us back, gave me a link online, and asked me to fill out a detailed written complaint, specifically about what my sister had said about the teenage patient and the nurse dose. It's something that they are taking very seriously, and the teenage patient was fairly recent. The guy on the phone also alluded that the patient's family also made a complaint, so I guess they're just trying to see if the events matched what we have to say. Someone is also asking the unit what happened with that patient's care, and if they saw anything or anything was said. Update 2. To sum it all up, Esht hit the fan. This morning my sister came over to where my husband and I lived and started banging at our door. My husband opened the door, and my sister barged her way screaming. I entered the living room where she was, and she started yelling at me more. My husband had to stand before me because he worried she would lunge at me. My sister was yelling about how she lost her job because of some bullshit reports, and that she knows that it was me talking shit about her because I just couldn't stay out of her business. I replied that it was my business if she was bullying a pregnant woman and then bragging about it. My sister told me to fuck off, and she said once again that she could talk about anyone any way she likes as long as she gets her job done because that's what she went to school for and that I don't know shit. I reminded my sister that I actually might know some shot since, oh I don't know, a confident teenager's family also had something to say about her behavior. My sister proceeded to go on a rant about that biatch and her family and how she was supposedly annoying her by giving birth. I had trouble processing what she said because it was honestly mind-boggling. And here's where things got shitty. I thought that my sister saying horrible things about her patients who hadn't done anything wrong was mean. I felt that the nicknames were cruel. I felt that her telling laboring mothers that they weren't doing things right and dosing a teenager and the SL shaming was vile and yes, misogynistic. However, it was about to get atrocious. During my sister's rant, she said that she wanted to teach the brat a lesson and said that maybe if she had given birth when she was older, her kid wouldn't have died. My mouth dropped open. I didn't know this before. That poor girl. Her baby fucking died. I was horrified. Imagining that child in so much pain and my pregnancy hormones combined got to me, and I was on the floor having a panic attack. I told my sister to get the fuck out of my home, and my husband escorted her out. My husband held me for a good 15 minutes until I calmed down. So yeah, I'm recovering from all that now. I don't plan on talking to my sister for a while. I plan on announcing the pregnancy soon, but I'm putting